really pretty. I have been in a little bit of a depressive slump. My anxiety's also been pretty bad the last couple of days, but I did go see my cardiologist a couple days ago, got the results back from the various things, and the good news, I mean, it's amazing, it's great, wonderful news, is that my heart is healthy and strong. And like in the ultrasound that they did, there's like no, like as far as like structural, like everything looks perfect. I'm not gonna drop dead of a heart attack anytime soon. Blood work that they did, all of it looks really good. And then the heart monitor that I wore for like 6 days, everything looked fine there. It was like when I did record symptoms, it was obvious that like my heart rate was high during that, but not like concerning high. So what this tells us is that my symptoms aren't caused by my heart, which is good news. I mean, you don't want something to be wrong with your heart, you know? But I've been through this before, right? Like being told everything looks normal, everything looks great, all while still feeling horrible. The doctor did mention something called orthostatic hypotension, which is just a form of low blood pressure. But anything that I've like, she even gave me like an article about like long COVID, things people are experiencing after getting COVID and recovering from the initial infection, but then like having to deal with long-term things. The reason she gave it to me is that like in a very small percentage of people, I mentioned this in the last video, but a very small percentage of people who have like autoimmune things who got the vaccine have then also had a type of reaction, right? But the more I read up on this specific like orthostatic hypotension, I meet like some of the symptoms, but overall it doesn't seem to fit me. For one, my blood pressure is always normal. It might be on like the lower end of normal, but even when I felt like my worst, I would go like see my mom and be like, can you take my blood pressure? She has a blood pressure machine, and it's always been normal. So I made an appointment with my PCP for Monday. So that's just a couple days away, and just to see what else I can do. I think it's more likely that this is a Lyme flare-up, and I'm just really curious to see what my PCP will be able to do about it. Because when I tried to go the PCP route, get stuff covered by insurance, you know, 15 years ago, it was such a dead end. It didn't work out that way. I think that's why I've been feeling kind of depressed and my anxiety's been bad, is because as much as I didn't want something to be wrong with my heart, and I am grateful that my heart is healthy, like that is reassuring. I have a strong and healthy heart. That's amazing news. That's so good. The thing that the cardiologist said is the best thing that I can do is do my best to like get back to normal activity. And I am, every day I'm doing a little bit more. Something that someone I follow on, that I very recently started following on Instagram, she's like a fitness person, and I don't really follow a lot of fitness people, but for some reason she showed up on my explore page, and there was just something that I just decided to follow her on impulse. Very strange, because I don't follow fitness people. One thing she said that has like really stuck with me is like, just do a little bit more this week than you did last week. So I've been kind of like keeping that in my mind and telling myself like, just do a little bit more this week than last week. And it is important for me to stay more active, because my lower back, I'm running into from just like, oh my gosh, and that's another thing that's really causing me stress and a little bit of depression, is my lower back stuff is like flaring up, and I'm freaked out about it. But I'm also worried because there's this thing that happens, right? For some people, pushing through the discomfort of exercise is a good thing, and you're able to do it, and that's what your body needs, right? Pushing through that discomfort. But for a lot of people, especially people with autoimmune stuff, pushing through the discomfort and pushing through that is just going to cause more problems, because there's something else going on in your body that isn't like you're just being inactive, right? So it's a really hard balance for me because of just the type of person I am. Like, I grew up a very active kid all the way up until I got sick in college. I was extremely active. So in me is someone who wants to be 100. It's hard for me. I'm either 0 or 100. It's really hard for me to take exercise easy. I'm either all in or not at all. Like yesterday, I pushed through because that's what I want, but then I paid for it, and I felt so horrible and so awful. And I know people are like, well, if you just keep doing that every day, it'll get easier. And it's like, I've done that in the past, and that's not been the case, because there's something else going on in my body that needs support, that needs help, that's not exercise. Exercise is important, definitely. And I know for me personally, if I'm exercising regularly, I sleep better. That's like the number one thing for me, is if I'm regularly exercising, my sleep is better. But I also think my body is struggling with something else that I need to support it with. And anyway, I just hope that on Monday my PCP is able to do something. But the thing that's frustrating is I don't want to go to another specialist. I don't want to keep doing this. I just wish insurance would pay for my naturopath, because that's where I have found answers and treatment. But I just can't afford all of it. In other news, this week is my childhood best friend's wedding at Disneyland, and I won't be there, and I'm really bummed about it. Like, I think that's also part of why I'm feeling kind of depressed, is like, I'm just upset that I'm not there. It's just really upsetting and frustrating that, one, my mental health is so fragile that I couldn't handle the trip. And then two, that my physical health has deteriorated so much in the last couple of months that even if my mental health was good, I'm physically unable to be there. So it's just hard to accept that about myself. Like, I'm feeling really low mentally, emotionally. I'm feeling really awful. But connected to that is that our other childhood best friend, who does live out of state, is going to the wedding, but first she's stopping here because her parents still live here. So I am getting to see her today, and her adorable little baby, who's a little toddler now. So later this afternoon, in a couple hours, I'll be able to go see them.
Yeah, I really don't want to keep smelling this. I feel like it's like he's breaking his leg in this one.
So you know how I said in the last video that I have stopped taking one of my hormone supplements because I can't afford it? Well, my period started like way early, and I am 100% sure that's why. Two things: one, why my skin has been so bad, and two, why my period has started early and with a vengeance. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, I just watched this movie on Amazon called I Want You Back. And it's like a romantic comedy, and it has Charlie Day in it and Jenny Slate. There they are. And it's just really cute. The premise is that they both get broken up with, like, right at the same time. They don't know each other. They get broken up with independently. They, like, meet in their sadness of being broken up. And then they devise a plan to, like, try and help each other get their partners back. It's really cute, and it's hilarious. It's so funny. In my opinion, like, it very much has my sense of humor in it. Also, Manny Jacinta, or I think that's how you say his last name. But what's his name? Jason Mendoza from The Good Place, which is like one of my favorite TV shows and one of my favorite characters. I love that guy. He's also in on Hulu. There's a series called, what is it called? It's based off of a book. What's it called? Like 9 Perfect Strangers or something like that, with Nicole Kidman and Melissa McCarthy. That was great. He's in that too. But yeah, it was really good. So if you're looking for a movie recommendation, I recommend I Want You Back. It's on Amazon Prime. Excuse me for a little while I complain about a couple of things because I'm just so frustrated with my life. Okay, so for years now, I've had this blender, the NutriBullet Magic Bullet. That says Magic Bullet. Does it not say Magic Bullet? It does, right? I've had that for years, and eventually it gave out. It stopped working. Actually, no, it didn't. The base is totally fine. What stopped working is this, the blade, okay? For what it does not turn, so it doesn't work, right? So my mom was like, well, just buy a replacement blade. So I went on the NutriBullet website and looked at their different options, because they've got multiple products. And again, on that thing, it says Magic Bullet. So I bought the Magic Bullet replacement blade and got this, which is much smaller. It's this, basically. It's this. Can you see? It's smaller. So I can't use it for my blender. I bought the wrong one, even though I bought the one that's Magic Bullet, and my blender says Magic Bullet. I don't understand why. I don't get it. I don't know. I was like, fine. You know what? It's been several years, actually. It's been several years. Why don't I just buy a brand new blender? I'll just replace it. I'll just replace my blender instead of like trying to figure out what the right size thing was. I don't know. Okay, I've been very dizzy. My brain fog is bad. It's hard for me to really pay attention to things, and it's also really hard for me to look at my computer for too long. So I bought what I thought was the Magic Bullet blender, the same one, because mine says Magic Bullet. I don't understand. The other ones don't say Magic Bullet. The other ones say NutriBullet, whatever. Mine says Magic Bullet, so I thought if I bought another Magic Bullet, it would be the same, but it's not. Because what came is this tiny little thing. And it's the same size as the replacement blade that was the wrong size. And it wouldn't be that big of a deal, except that this Magic Bullet is so small that it's like half the amount of like smoothie that I would be making. So I'd have to make 2 smoothies every morning to like have the same amount. But I was like, whatever, like I'll make it work. But then this morning, this thing just stopped working. It won't work. So, oh my gosh. Okay, and then the other thing I was gonna complain about, because it's all connected, this stupid thing, right? How I mentioned before in a previous video how I have to, it broke where it connects to the band, and so they sent me this replacement, but I have to send the other one back. But the thing is, in order to send things back, you have to print the return label. I don't have a printer. I don't have access to a printer. I'm not driving right now, so I can't like drive somewhere to get it printed. So, and if I don't send it back in a certain amount of time, they're just gonna charge me for as if I bought a new one. So I've got that stupid blender to send back. I've got the other watch to send back, and I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I need to find access to a printer. So that's my complaining. I'm done complaining. The other thing, I have my doctor's appointment this morning with my PCP, and I'm anxious about it, and I'm trying to get my head around how to word what I need to say in order to get helped. Like I don't know. I'm just like, I don't know what else I can say to convince a doctor that more testing needs to be done. I had that MRI done a year ago now, and everything showed up fine, normal, right? And now granted, my dizziness is much worse now than it was a year ago, but I don't think there's anything wrong with my brain, right? I don't think I need to get another one. I definitely do not want another MRI. I hate MRIs. They're traumatic and cause way too much like stress and upset for me. Like it's just not worth it. We know it's not my heart, thankfully. I'm so grateful that my heart is good and strong and healthy. That's awesome news. I just wish I could afford to go to my naturopath. I just wish I could afford that, because it would just make my life so much easier if I could just afford what I need instead of having to go through the healthcare system and just like hope and pray and just get lucky or not lucky. That I don't know, like, how do other people that didn't go the naturopath route, that had Lyme, how did it work out for them? I don't know. Like, I'm just worried about all this. And I took a shower, and taking a shower takes so much energy, and it makes me so dizzy just from taking a shower. And I know that's not, I know that like showers taking energy from people with chronic illness, that's not like unique to me. I know that's like a common thing because showers are energy consuming. But then I was like sitting at my desk, and I'm just like, my head is spinning. Right now it's a little bit better, but I'm so frustrated, and I'm so sad that I'm missing my friend's wedding. And I'm so unhappy just in my life right now. I'm miserable. I really am. I'm trying to like stay positive and all of that, but like nothing in my life. Anyway, whatever. It's fine. Staying present and mindful of the moment. I am in a safe home. I have access to food. I have access to safe water. I have access to a doctor, regardless of how it goes. Like, that is a privilege. I've got beautiful plants. I have YouTube to watch. One thing I do need to do today, that I want to do, is watch the Super Bowl halftime show from yesterday, because I didn't watch the Super Bowl at all. And then I like forgot about the halftime show, and then when I thought about it, I caught like the very last like 30 seconds of the halftime show. So, but like so many people online are like, it's the best halftime show ever. I was like, for me personally, nothing will beat when it was NSYNC and Britney Spears and Aerosmith. Like, for me as a child, that was like, nothing could beat that halftime show. Also, Beyonce's halftime show, amazing. So, I'm not like a huge like Dr. Dre, Eminem, or even Snoop. I love Snoop Dogg as a person. I think he is one of the funniest people to ever exist. He makes me laugh so much. But as far as like music goes, I was never really big into rap. It's one of those things where I know it'll be nostalgic, because I was exposed to it. I listened to it like on the radio and at school dances and stuff. I have that to look forward to today, today's also Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. I can't remember if I showed you guys these flowers that my friend Katie got me. Aren't they so pretty? So, happy Valentine's Day. So, my appointment earlier was really incredibly frustrating. This is the first time I've like walked away from an appointment with my PCP that I was like in tears, because I just feel I'm just really let down. My PCP won't test me or even talk about the Lyme. I don't know, she just like doesn't have the ability to, or the knowledge of, I don't know, but she just like shut me down completely. She's sending me back to neurology, because those guys were so helpful last year. They were just, the nicest, most knowledgeable. She told me that if I could ask them about my concerns with Lyme if I wanted to, but that she couldn't do anything. And then I'm also going to start vestibular rehab therapy, which I think I will actually benefit from, because a lot of the like criteria I actually like fit. It's gonna suck. So basically, if you don't know what it is like It's basically like dizziness exposure therapy, where they like gradually expose you to things that you know make you dizzy. Oh God, I'm gonna hate it so much. In hopes that it trains your brain to ignore like unnecessary stimulus or stimuli. Then there's also like exercises with like moving your eyes and like moving your neck and stuff. It's gonna suck. Like, that's not a fun time, and I don't want to do it. Because it's basically like, hey, let's make you more dizzy than you already are. I hope they can prescribe me like Zofran or something. Some anti-nausea thing, because oh my God, I don't want to deal with it, but I will probably benefit from that. I do think that that could be helpful. The one thing I do not want to do that she did bring up is going to see an ENT. And I'm like, I've been down this road. I don't have anything. What I'm going through right now, I have been through. Like 15 years ago, I went and saw the neurologist, got MRIs, nothing wrong there. I went and saw a cardiologist, had all the tests done, nothing wrong there. I went to the ENT, had all the tests done, nothing wrong there. And at that point is like the PCP that I saw back then was totally useless and just like wasn't willing to like keep sending me places. And even I just got sicker and sicker and sicker, and till finally we decided to check out a naturopath doctor. And that's where I've been ever since, but I just don't have the finances to do that this time. I'm just at a horrible crossroads because I'm really feeling really defeated, and I'm feeling really let down, and I'm so dizzy today. And I know that part of that today, the reason I'm so dizzy today is because I'm on my period, but it just makes it all the worse. I'm just thinking about how it took 2 months to get into see the neurologist at the beginning of last year. Oh, man. God. Today is my childhood best friend Tina's wedding day in California, and I'm obviously not there because I'm too mentally unstable and got some health stuff going on. Physical health stuff, as you know. Anyway, it really sucks. I'm really upset that I'm not there. But I know she's having an amazing time, and she's got some really amazing bridesmaids who are with her, and she's at Disneyland and getting to marry the love of her life, so she's doing good. But when she asked us to be her bridesmaids, she like put together this cute little box with a bunch of the different little things, and in that is this, which is a like flower seed paper. You basically plant this and it will grow into a flower. I love this idea, especially as someone who loves their houseplants. So I'm gonna plant this, and I'm gonna start really slow. I'm gonna start in a really small pot because I just replanted the plant that was in here. This one was in here, if you'll remember. And so now it's in this bigger pot. So hopefully it will keep growing bigger. But anyways, this cute little pot. Now that I'm thinking about it though, because she also, at that same time, got us these succulents with like our initials. It's so freaking cute, right? But the succulents were like water drowned. They were like drowned. Like the way that the company sent them to my friend, it's awful. It's not fair. But so they didn't survive because they were all like water rotted. But what if I start planting? This is a better idea, even though this one is even smaller than this one. Not by much. But if it starts growing, I'll just repot it into a different, bigger pot. Anyway, this is such a long way to say that I'm going to plant this little seed on her wedding day right now, today, kind of as like a little magical energy thing, right? So that's what I'm going to do. I just watered all of my plants and repotted that one, and so now I'm gonna do this. I have a phone interview later this afternoon for a work from home job that I desperately need right now. It's just a phone interview. It's not gonna be like on Zoom or FaceTime. She's not gonna see me, but I feel like I need to put effort into my appearance So I can't remember the last time I put makeup on. I hope my makeup is still good. Like mascara. I'm not gonna like do a full face or anything. I've never done that, but I'm gonna like try and do something. And maybe that'll also make me feel hireable. Wish me luck. Well, I put makeup on. I hate the concept of makeup. Like, I hate that we've been conditioned to think that, like, how I am right now is somehow better than who I was this morning. I'm exactly the same person. The only thing that's different is I have crap on my eyelashes, my eyebrows, and I put a little bit of powder on my face to make the appearance of my acne look a little bit less red. But we're so conditioned to think that this is somehow better. And I know a lot of people like use makeup as a form of expression, but for me it feels the opposite. Like, makeup makes me feel like I'm covering myself up. But even as I look at myself right now, I'm like, yeah, I can tell that I look better than I did this morning because I'm wearing makeup. Like, the fact that mascara does so much. Like, because I've been conditioned to believe that. But it's like, I can feel it on my face and it drives me crazy and I want to take it off. But I also like looking better. You know what I mean? It's messed up. It's messed up. If you wear makeup, that's cool. I'm like, no judgment. That's awesome. You do you. So I have the job interview in half an hour. I'm getting very anxious about it, but I'm trying not to let myself freak out. Even like one or the other, like one about not getting it and like not having a source of I was gonna say not having a source of income, but I do have my Etsy that does make me money, but it doesn't make me a substantial amount. But then this job also isn't like a big paying job or anything. But then on the other side, like being anxious about actually getting it and then having to go through training and like having to actually do the work. It just sucks. Like, my job that I have outside of the home, like, I'm good at it. I know what I'm doing. And I just want that in a job. You know what I mean? I just want to be good at what I'm doing. So since I heard about this job, I've just been like sending up silent prayers, like, please let me be good at this. That's what I want. I want to be good at this. I'll let you know how it goes. I'm gonna feel really dumb if I don't get this job, but it's fine. That's part of life. So I'll let you know. So I got the job, and that's great. It's basically a writing job. Did I already mention what it's about? But it's basically a writing job, work from home type of thing. I'm being very vague because I don't want to like give all my information out into the world, especially when it's so brand new. But I'll see how this goes, and then I'll start training in the next couple of days and go from there. We'll see. Please let me be good at this. Please let me be good at this. I got a humidifier. Did I ever mention that? I don't think I did. This is new, like within the last week or so, and it's because I live in the desert. Not that I have to justify this, but I live in the desert. Air is very, very dry, and for a long time now, I've been waking up like in the very early mornings with just a really bad headache. And I looked into it, and sometimes that can be caused by dry air. And then I had also seen someone that I follow on Instagram who was talking about how her family sleeps so much better when they have their humidifiers going. So I was like, okay, I'll look into it and get myself one. So I really like this one because it's automatic. It like keeps track of how humid it is. So it'll shut off when it reaches the optimal level. So it won't like over humidify the air. It was in my price range as well, and I do really like it. I don't know if it's like it's not necessarily helping me sleep better because I still have issues with sleeping, but I will say I've only had one headache, like morning headache thing, since using it, so that's nice. I will say the one thing that I do notice, like, that I have to assume is that my hair feels really soft compared to how it was before since having this going. My skin's not any better, but I think that my skin is bad because of I've been off my supplements, but my hair's nice and soft. So I like it. I'm glad I spent the money on it. It's been helpful. So I'm gonna end the vlog. Thanks for hanging out with me this week, keeping me company. I like these because I am very lonely and it feels, even though I'm just talking to my phone and there's only like 15 people that maybe watch my videos, like, I don't know, I enjoy these and I'm grateful for whoever does watch them. So thanks for being here. I mean, I'm still very lonely, but it feels, it's helpful for me to verbally process, and it's something that I enjoy. So let's recap the week. My heart is healthy and strong, and that is amazing, wonderful news. My PCP will not talk about Lyme, will not look into Lyme, doesn't want to hear it. She's sending me back to neurology. She's also having me do vestibular rehab therapy, which I think will be beneficial. It's gonna suck, but I think I will. I'm trying to be optimistic about it, and I do see that there is a possibility for it to be beneficial for me. I missed my childhood best friend's wedding, and it makes me really sad that I did, but it's okay. You know, when she gets her wedding video in, her pictures in, I'll go to her house, we'll watch it together, I'll cry, it'll be a whole thing. Something I didn't mention was that my other childhood best friend's brother, who I do consider my dear friend, my best friend, his wife just had a baby yesterday, or 2 days ago now, and that's amazing and wonderful, and I'm so happy for them. And it's one of those things where, like, my closest friends, they're getting married, they're pregnant themselves, gonna have birth, you know, within 6 weeks or so, and then my friend whose wife just had a baby, like, they're all achieving things in life, they're all building lives with people they love, and, like, I'm so happy for them, genuinely so happy for them. But then I'm over here just alone and, like, not going anywhere in my life. I don't know. Why haven't I been able to figure life out? I can't seem to figure life out. I feel like I'm losing the game. Well, you know, that... Anyway, I complained about things going wrong. It's just a part of life, and I'm sure it'll be fine. I did decide that I'm just gonna return both of the watches and just get a refund because it's not a great product. I don't like the product, and I feel like it's not accurate, and it's not worth having. So I'm just gonna return both of them, get my money back, and then I got a job today, which is really amazing, and I'm excited about it, and I'm just hoping that I'm good at it and that I end up really liking it because I so desperately need to be making money. I'm grateful for that. We're ending this week on a high note. That's why I'm ending today, right now, because we're ending it on a high note. Lizzie got a job. So, like I said, thanks for being here. Thanks for listening along, and be safe, be well. I hope you find ways to enjoy your life, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.